Well, I think it was a dramatic success in historical terms. It was the largest impeachment conviction vote in U.S. history. It was by far the most bipartisan majority that's ever assembled in the Senate to convict a president, which has traditionally been a kind of partisan thing in American history. But we got 7 Republicans, and if you look at the 10 Republicans in the House who joined us, it was by far the most bipartisan decision and a complete repudiation of the president's conduct. Now, unfortunately, it didn't reach the 2/3 majority in the Senate. We're explaining this to foreign journalists who can't understand why he wasn't convicted with a 57-43 vote, a 14-vote margin. Well, you need 2/3. But I think that we successfully prosecuted him and convicted him in the court of public opinion and in the court of history. He's obviously a major political problem for the Republican Party. And as long as he's out there attempting to wage war on American constitutional democracy, he's a problem for all of us.
I can completely understand why foreign journalists would have trouble wrapping their heads around this process. That was lead House impeachment manager, Congressman Jamie Raskin, in an exclusive interview over the weekend with Meet the Press. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Conor Lamb of Pennsylvania. Congressman Lamb, it's great to see you. I'm not sure we've spoken at length since I was covering your special election race in Pennsylvania. And I know some of the lines have changed since we last had that conversation, but you're still in a part of the state where you're likely hearing from a lot of voters who have perhaps different opinions about what the House should have done about Donald Trump. And I'm interested to know what you are hearing from them. Do you feel like your constituents are anxious to move on from what happened on January 6th and away from the Trump era? Or are they still angry and frustrated that he hasn't been held accountable?
I think it's a mix, but for people who are in the middle or maybe a little bit right of center, I think there was kind of a double burden in this trial to show, why is impeachment necessary? Why are you guys still focused on this? It's over. Do your job, legislate, bring us some more COVID relief aid or whatever. And you showed Jamie's clip before I came on. I just think he did an incredible job satisfying both burdens. He continually returned to how serious this attack was on our democracy, everything that it represented, why accountability is necessary. And the result that he got of 7 Republicans in the Senate and 10 Republicans in the House is unprecedented. And it validates why we need to commit to our institutions and the democratic process, because although it is slow and painful, we got real results at the end of the day. And the nation, I think, understands better now what it is we're up against going forward.
We were talking earlier in the show with Brez about all the security around the Capitol and also the personal security threats I know a lot of your colleagues are facing. What's that like behind the scenes for you? Have you noticed an uptick in violent rhetoric directed at you? And what do you think we do to try and ratchet that down?
Yeah, I mean, as you probably remember from 3 years ago, I've had a fair amount of violent rhetoric directed at me from the first campaign I ever ran. So it hasn't been too different for me. To me, I think that it is significant, but it also carries with it a real risk, which is that we don't want the American people to believe we are more focused on ourselves internally and on our own security and needs than we are on them and their safety and security. And I think one of the points that Jamie and others made throughout this trial was the way that an attack like January 6th poses a threat to everyone in this country. If we don't respond to it and politics just becomes ruled by the most violent and the best liars, that's not going to work out for the average person in the middle class. The whole reason we have a democracy is to try to make sure the average person's interest ends up being represented. And so I think it's sort of incumbent on all of us now, despite the fact that we have these new threats and security needs personally, to continue to show the American people that this response we're making is about them and it's about their government and that we work for them. And that's a challenge in these times because of the misinformation that's out there. But I think the managers did a great job at it.
It's a great point about the focus on folks who are so worried, have so many reasons to be focused on their own safety and security, economic and otherwise. Congressman, I have to ask you while I've got you, we learned John Fetterman jumping into the Pennsylvania Senate race to replace Pat Toomey. Are you considering running for Senate coming up ahead here?
I will look at it. I think for me, it's about the work. I really feel lucky to get to serve in Washington, D.C. and try to have an impact on some legislation. And I'll spend some time trying to figure out where can I do that most effectively and where can I help people. And thankfully, right now, I think we're doing a lot in the House. This COVID-19 bill that we marked up through committee last week is significant. It's really going to help a lot of people, and I'm proud to be part of it. So, my focus is there at the moment.
Does Chuck Schumer want you to run?
You have to ask him that. I haven't spoken to him about it.
All right, Congressman Connor Lamb, thank you very much. We really appreciate you getting up early here, yeah, for sure. Thank you very much for being with us, and have a great rest of your week.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.